It's all about seafood on this episode of Harvest Eating. After the first segment, I'll show you how to make a Florida delicacy, triggerfish, spiced with curry paste, then steamed and served on top of aromatic South Carolina plantation rice with a roasted tomato coconut broth. Then grilled fish tacos adorned with pickled red onion, sliced avocado, mango pico de gallo, cilantro and sour cream, plus a delicious grilled prosciutto-wrapped local shrimp with a basil chiffonade and a lemon mustard remoulade sauce. Trust me, they sound difficult, but these are amazing dishes and very easy to make. I've always enjoyed the northeast coast of Florida, and I've spent several years in the past living and working in Flagler County. Along the coast, there is a sleepy little surf town called Flagler Beach. Surfing is definitely the main attraction here, and there are several busy surf shops loaded with surfboards and surf wax. However, the main landmark here in Flagler is the pier, a very long structure in which residents and visitors alike walk on and fish off of. The gorgeous sandy beaches in Flagler are a favorite fishing spot for surfcasters who catch a variety of fish right from the beach using large surf casting poles and reels. In addition to surf casting, the locals are always riding the waves every time the surf is up, and families like mine love to visit the beaches to enjoy the most famous thing Florida has to offer, the sunshine. Because the town is so small, the dining choices here are few and far between. A good pizza place, a nice breakfast spot, and the Flagler Fish Company. This small restaurant is run by Chef Chris Casper, who has a lot of cooking experience, and his restaurant serves up inventive, well-cooked, fresh local seafood. Not only is this restaurant popular to eat at, it's also popular to buy fish from to take home. Flagler Fish Company visits the local area docks each morning to secure the freshest fish every day. Then, dedicated young cooks arrive early in the morning to break down and fillet the fish, which is then placed on ice in their display cases. You'd be surprised how quickly someone who knows the anatomy of a fish and has good knife skills can fillet up a fish. On any given morning, the cooks will fillet many different fish in order to stock the cases and to feed the hungry customers. Many different species are usually on the menu, but even seafood is seasonal. On a busy lunch or dinner service, chefs prepare wonderful seafood preparations that keep the guests coming back for more. When we return, I'll show you how to make steamed triggerfish with curry paste, plantation rice, and a roasted tomato coconut broth.
Tatler Reusable Canning Lids. Family owned since 1976. That's right, Tatler Reusable Canning Lids. Yes, reusable, with a lifetime guarantee. Made in America, BPA free. Tatler Reusable Canning Lids, because those who can, do. Get rid of the disposable lid. Go to reusablecanninglids.com. Tatler Reusable Canning Lids.
Welcome back to Harvest Eating. Now let's get started on our triggerfish. The first step in making our triggerfish is to make a little spice paste. Right here I've got 2 spices. This is a curry powder, and this is prepared. You can get it in the store, or if you're adventurous, you can make it yourself. It's about half a teaspoon. That's going to go right in. Next up is coriander, and this is the seed of the cilantro plant. Very, very flavorful. Not a lot of people cook with it, but it's terrific, so I definitely encourage you to use it. So we're going to put that right into the bowl. And then in order to make it a paste, we need some liquid. What we're going to do is just put a little touch of olive oil. Now we want to mix this up, and then we're also going to season it with just a touch of salt and also a little bit of black pepper. So here's my filet, and it's about a 4-ounce piece. So take your spice paste and just drizzle it right on, and use the back of the spoon and sort of press it in. Some of it's going to drip off, but that's just fine. Now we're going to take this and put it into our steamer. And steamed fish is delicious. If you're not used to steaming it, give it a try because it gives you a really nice texture. It's quick, it's healthy. So use your knife, pick it up, and just lay your filet right down in there. It should take about 8 to 12 minutes to cook that through. So while the fish is cooking, let's start to make our roasted tomato coconut broth. Very simple to do. What I've got here are a couple of Roma tomatoes, and what I did with these guys is first I fired my oven up pretty hot, about 400 degrees, and then I drizzled just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, just tossed them around. I put them in the oven for about 35 or 40 minutes until they got roasted like this. You can see they're very soft, and that really develops their flavor. So now these are going to go right into the bowl of this little food processor. Okay, then on top of that, we're going to take a green onion and just cut it up a little bit to help out the food processor. Same thing with the piece of garlic, just going to cut this in half. All right, now all this goes right into this bowl. Just like that. We're also going to put a little bit of fresh cilantro. This is what I have here, and this goes really well with coconut, so don't be shy. Put in your fresh cilantro, and then in order to help the blades move a little bit, we're going to put some of our coconut milk in there. Okay, now let's get the top on. Now we're going to just whiz this up. All right, that's all we need. Now we can take this mixture and get it into the pot that I've got right over here. What we're going to do is turn the heat on this, get this warmed up, take this blade out, and then this goes right down. All right, now we're going to add a little more coconut milk. Like that. And one last ingredient, the juice of a lime. Now I've said it 100 times, if you want a lot of lime juice, first of all, get the round limes, look for ones that have some yellow on it, and really roll them hard on the board like this. All right, now we're going to cut it in half. When you roll it like that, it really releases a lot of juice. All right, now we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. And then we have 2 other ingredients, and the whole idea here is to have a very flavorful broth. This is some low sodium soy sauce. And last but certainly not least is a little bit of powdered ginger. If you wanted to use fresh ginger, that'd be great too. And now just take a spoon and start to stir these ingredients through. And now what you want is for this to come up to a simmer. It doesn't need to cook very long, and what will happen is all the flavors will meld together, and that beautiful roasted tomato is going to infuse the coconut milk. Okay, my broth is working away here. Now I want to pay attention to my rice. What I'm going to do is load my rice in here, just fluff it up a bit. This is South Carolina plantation rice, and I love this because it's extremely flavorful and very aromatic. And this was just cooked with a little bit of salt, pepper, and butter. That's it. And what you want to do is just pack it into something like this, and this is kind of a little restaurant trick that we used to do back in the day. Just press it into your mold like this, and then you're going to take your bowl and put it right on there. All right, that came out good. Let's get all this out of our way. Move this over here. Now what we want to do is take our fish out. And be very careful because steam burns. And there is the fish, and it looks quite nice in there, beautiful. So now you just want to carefully lift it out. We're going to place it right on top of the rice, just like this. And that looks beautiful. Perfect. And now we want to take our wonderful broth, and we're going to put the broth right around the plate. Okay, and now the last step to this beautiful dish is a little garnish, and just take some more of your fresh cilantro, just put a little bit right on the plate, and there you've got a really delicious, healthy, and beautiful way to cook with local fish. Give this a try someday. When we return, I'll show you how to make grilled fish tacos with pickled red onion, avocado, mango pico de gallo, and some great toppings. Welcome back to Harvest Eating. Now let's get started with our fish tacos. The first thing we need to do is make some mango pico de gallo. First, let's cut up some green onions. Then let's trim off the fillet of a Roma tomato. We don't want all those seeds. Then cut the tomato into a dice. Then cut the mango up into a dice and squeeze a tiny bit of fresh lime juice. Then add some minced up cilantro, salt, and pepper to taste. Then we need to fry up some corn tortillas. I usually buy 6-inch corn tortillas. Then I heat up oil in a pot to about 375 degrees. Then fry the tortillas until golden brown and add salt. Next we need to prepare some pickled red onions. Thinly slice a medium red onion and toss it into a sauce pot. Add rice wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, or apple cider vinegar. It's your choice. Then bring to a simmer for about 35 minutes. The onions will take on a totally different color and look amazing. Then we need to get an avocado sliced up. With a chef's knife, lay the avocado on the board and slice into it and spin the avocado, leaving your knife still. Open up the halves, remove the pit, scoop out the flesh, then slice the avocado up into thin slices. Now the last thing we need to do before assembling the tacos is to grill our fish. Here's my trigger fish. It looks beautiful. Let's get a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on it, and then we're going to season it up a bit. This olive oil is key because it's going to help it from sticking to the grill. All right, so right here is my seafood seasoning. This is the Harvest Eating seafood seasoning. If you're interested in that, it is in the web store. We're going to take this and put a liberal helping right on the fish. Now we want to flip these over because we don't want it on just the single side. More seasoning on the back side and then on the grill. And the grill is pretty hot. It's probably about a medium-high heat. Now you want to cook this for about 3 or 4 minutes on side 1 and about 3 minutes on side 2. You just want it to be nice and firm. Well, the time has come to assemble our tacos. There's a little bit of a process. Let me show you how we do it. First off, we want to grab a piece of our grilled trigger fish, and it looks just perfect. So you want to take some of this fish and just flake it apart, and it is just looking really, really nice. And then we're going to take a little bit of our mango pico de gallo and put a little on our fish. Next up, we're going to take some beautiful, nice sliced avocado and get a couple of slices on each one. And then right here, we've got pickled red onions, and these look really cool. Look at that color. Love that color. Put a few of those right on top. And then right here we've got a little bit of thinned out sour cream, just thinned with a little bit of half and half. Just a touch of that. And lastly, let's garnish the plate. Put a few pieces of lime, and then I've got a little bit of fresh cilantro. We'll put that right there, and there you have some amazing, super colorful, grilled fish tacos. I hope you give these a try today. When we return after this short break, I'll show you how to make grilled prosciutto wrapped local shrimp with basil chiffonade and a lemony mustard remoulade sauce. Welcome back to Harvest Eating. Now let's make you look like a star in the kitchen with my grilled prosciutto wrapped local shrimp with basil chiffonade and a lemony mustard remoulade. Sounds fancy, but it's a snap. So the first step in making our shrimp is we want to wrap them with our ham here. And this is what's called prosciutto di Parma. It's a very famous thinly sliced Italian ham. And it's fairly expensive when you buy it in the store, so make sure that you have the people at the deli slice it very thin. The shrimp here, what I've done with those is simply slice down the back of them after I removed the shells and the legs, and then I've done what's called butterflying, and just carefully slice them until they want to lay open like that. So now, let's take the shrimp and wrap them up in the thinly sliced prosciutto. So you just want to take it and lay it down. And normally you see me season a lot of foods with salt and pepper. These do not need any seasoning because this ham has quite a bit of salt in it. So you want to wrap it up just like that, and it looks really pretty. Okay, so now our shrimp are wrapped up. We want to take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and get that down in our pan. And this pan is heating up about medium-high heat. So just swirl this through, and now we're going to lay the shrimp right down in the pan. While the shrimp are cooking away, let's make our little dipping sauce. First thing we're going to do is take some sour cream and get it down into our bowl. Next, we're going to get some good quality mustard in here. And this is a mustard that has a lot of garlic in it. And then we have some excellent quality balsamic vinegar, and this is something that is classic to Italian cookery. Then we're going to put some lemon juice in it. I've got a lemon, I'm going to roll it on the board, slice it in half. And now I want to squeeze it out, but I'm going to use a strainer because I don't want to get any seeds in there. So now just take your whisk, go through this, and now we're going to season this up with a little bit of kosher salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. Okay, we'll just work this through. And now, setting this off to the side, we have to take our basil, and we're going to do what the French called chiffonade. It just means rolling up the leaves and cutting them into little ribbons. So we'll pick about 3 nice sized leaves. Maybe we'll do 4. And then we're going to roll them up. Now slice them into ribbons. Now you have some really nice basil ribbons like that. So, getting to the point of plate up, just move your basil off to the side. We'll take our serving plate, and now we're going to reach in and grab our shrimp. They look beautiful, they're nice and golden brown, one by one, and put them on our plate. Okay, now we want to put on some of our dipping sauce, and you don't want to put a ton, you just want a little bit. Okay, that is looking really nice. Now the last step is to take your chiffonade and have a little fun. Go up nice and high like this and sprinkle them around the plate. And how I would finish this is I'll just take my knife, grab my lemon, make 1 lemon slice, and take it and just give it a twist and put it right in the center of your plate. And that completes a really nifty prosciutto wrapped shrimp with a dipping sauce. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's seafood recipe. Seafood is definitely versatile, as you saw today. I want to encourage you to try and find wild caught fish and support American fishermen whenever you can. If you want these recipes, head over to harvesteating.com. And I hope to see you again next week on another episode of Harvest Eating.